Hello and welcome to Self Upgrade. Today, I'm going to share with you something that I do at the end of the year to ensure that I learn from all the mistakes that I made during the year and also to plan and prepare for the following year. So, this is something that I do. I've been doing this for the last 5 years, and I find that it works really well because, like I said, it helps me to look back to see all the mistakes that I made and that I can learn from, basically to improve and to make sure that I don't do the same mistakes moving forward. And then also, it helps me to better plan my year to make sure that I know exactly what my goals are for the year ahead, and also to know the actions that I need to do to make sure that I hit my goals at the end of the year. So the first thing that I do, like I mentioned earlier, I make sure that around November, I don't do that in December. December is too busy. December is a very busy month. So I make sure I do my annual review around mid November. So now I'm about to do that, which is why I decided to share this episode with you to make sure that if, for instance, some of you are going to do this, in the next few weeks, you can maybe get some inspiration from what I do to add to what you already do. Or maybe if you don't do any planning, this can be something that will inspire you and will push you to actually do some planning, because like I said, it really helps, and it helps you to be productive and to make sure that you have your goals, you know your goals, and you know what you need to do to reach those goals. So the first thing that I do, like I said, I look back at all the mistakes that I did, everything that I did wrong, because I always start with what I did wrong, because that's where the biggest lessons are. So I make sure that I look at all my mistakes, anything that I believe that I could have done better. I look at that and then see the lesson that I can learn from, that mistake or those mistakes, the different mistakes that I made during the year. I don't do that just for work, but I do that in all the aspects of my life. First area that I focus on is my health. My health. Is there anything that I can do better next year to improve my health, to improve my fitness, my eating? Because that's the beginning of everything. If you are healthy, you will be able to do lots of things. But if you don't look after your body and you neglect your body and get sick, there's not much you can do if you are sick. So that's my first thing. I make sure that I look after myself. So I look back at the year and see if there's anything, any mistakes that I made during the year, in terms of health, that I can avoid for the following year. For this year, for instance, I had a few issues with, with eating. I cannot say that it was an eating disorder, because I knew why I was having that issue. But, the understanding only came later, basically. It came later. And now that I have that information, and that's something that I shared, in one of the episodes that I recorded recently. It was the episode about imposter syndrome. I will put a link here for you to have a look at that episode. And basically, within the episode, I was explaining why I was having issues with, eating, why I was overeating, basically. So if you are interested in finding out, about imposter syndrome, and I had to come up with, solutions and different methods to get myself out of that. So I'll put the link here for you to go and have a look. So yeah, so that's definitely something that is going to go in my review for this year. Once I have looked at all the things that I didn't do well, I also look at the things that I believe I did really well, that I can continue, all the good habits that I have developed during the year. So that as well is something that, I take note of those good habits, and to make sure that I continue, with those habits in the following year. And then the second area of my life that I look at is my family. I look at my family. How did I do as a mom? How did I do as a wife? How did I do as a sister? I even look, all the relationships around me, but essentially, I try to keep it in the very, very close circle. Like I said, my children, my husband, my sisters, because those are the people that I'm really close to. So I look at how I did, all the things that I did well and those that I didn't do so well, and how I can correct them. And then after that, I try to do my review in terms of priorities, like, what are the priorities in my life? What are the most important things in my life? And like I said, the most important thing is health, and then my family, and then my work. So now, in terms of work, to be honest with you, the work, even if the my work comes in the third position, I take a lot of time, to do that one, because obviously it's still important. So I take a lot of time to actually see all the things that I did well and those that I didn't do that well, to make sure that I replicate whatever is good, and also leave out anything that doesn't serve me, basically. So the second thing I do after my annual review, now I'm going to focus on my goals for next year, for the following year. So basically, I look at all the notes. I look at all the notes that I have taken, in terms of things that I need to do more, everything that I need to do more, but also the things that I need to give up. So now that I have reviewed the year and how I did, I'm going to go and come up with my goals based on the different areas that I have analyzed. That is to say, my health, my family, and my work. So I'm going to come up with goals for each area. And then once I have my goals, so those are going to be yearly goals. But once I have my goals, I'm not going to stop there. Because I really like when everything is so clear in my head. I have my goal, but it's not just about having the goal. How are we going to go about it? When do we need to actually hit this goal? How are we going to hit it? What are the actions needed to hit this goal? So I do, I break down everything, and then I'm going to go, like, on a monthly basis from January. What am I going to do in January for each of the areas? And then I go like that. I go throughout the month until I get in December. That's not something that I always did, basically. I used to do things very differently. I used to just have my yearly goals, and then I will just, use those goals, and then I will basically decide on the actions as I was going. But it wasn't very effective that way. But the way I do now, like I said, I break down all the actions that I need to do every month, especially for my work. Because, for instance, for family, that's actually something that I can decide. If I want to do some activities with my kids, for instance, I can decide, like, a couple of months before, or something like that. But for work, I really need to do that ahead, so that I can plan around. I can plan other activities around my work. So I've been doing this for 5 years, like I mentioned earlier. And the way I do it, I use Google spreadsheets. I use one sheet for reviews and another sheet for the goals, to break down the goals. And then every month I will go back to basically see the different actions that I need to do, basically. So that's not it. I have one last thing that I do, which is very important. Once you have your goals, once you know exactly what you need to do, there's something else that is very important. So basically, I'm going to show you instead of just talking. So every year, I buy a vision board. I buy a vision board slash journal. So this year, this is the one I got. I love it. I love the look of it. It has a little key here. So basically, you just open like this, and just you can open, and then the pages I just love. I just wanted something that looks a bit magical, basically. So you see, I wanted something a bit different, because every year I used to take just a normal, like a notebook, and then I will write my things. And this year I was like, okay, I want something a little bit magical, something that makes me, just something which is a bit different and, like I said, a bit magical. So this is what I chose. And basically, what I do with my vision board slash journal. So I will have, now that I have all my goals, I'm going to put all the goals in here, put some, stickers, put some images, put anything that will help me to better visualize what I want to achieve. So I will put that, I will put those in my vision board. And then I will also write down, like, if for instance, I discovered something which I feel is very important and will be useful basically to help me achieve the goal, I will write that down. I also write things that I feel like I need to work on. For instance, if I feel like I need to develop a skill and I didn't actually think about that when I was planning or, something like that, I will write down, in my journal, I will write down what I need to learn. And then I will transfer that in my goals, in my yearly goals as an action. So yeah, that's how I use my vision board slash journal. So like I said, for now it's just like this, but by the end of the year, next year, I will show you. I will try to make another episode, when I will be talking about my annual review. I will show you. It's not going to look like this at all. It's going to be probably very bulky and very visual as well, because like I said, I add pictures, stickers, I write down, different things, and it's very colorful because that's how I like it. So that's my vision board slash journal. And then I also have this one. So this one is also a journal. Like, I can use it as a journal. I'm going to show you a few pages inside. Basically, these are, it's quite, you have here, like, the days of the week, and then you can add the date as well if you want. But what I'm going to use this for is for my manifestation, my manifestation affirmations. Because, once I come up with my goals, I turn those goals into affirmations. And then, I do my 369. If you don't know what 369 is and you'd like to know, then, just leave a comment below and I will let you know. And because basically 369 is the manifestation slash law of attraction technique that I use, and it works like magic. It works like magic. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to use this one for. I love this one because it comes with a pen, and I can just put the pen here like this. So yeah, I love this one and I love the design. I mean, I don't have any affiliation or anything like that, but I just love, the way it looks. I mean, both of them are, I love them. Okay, so now you have it all. Just to summarize everything, so basically, my technique to ensure that I'm productive, every year, is having an annual review of the different aspects of my life, different areas of my life, my health, my family, and my work. And then I set up my goals in those different areas. Finally, manifestation. Manifestation. So, like I said, my favorite technique, the one that works for me and has worked every single time, is 369. So I turn my goals into affirmation and I do my 369 manifestation. So yeah, that's the plan and that's what I do. So leave a comment below if you found this useful, and also if you are going to use any of my techniques. And like I said, if you want me to develop a bit more on my 369 manifestation technique, let me know, and it will be a pleasure to share, how I do that with you guys. Okay, so I hope that you got a lot of value from this episode. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so, like and share, and I will see you in the next episode of Self Upgrade.